Before we begin, this podcast is proudly brought to you by DubaiView, your boutique luxury real estate partner. We deliberately keep our family of clients small because we believe in building relationships, not just closing deals. If you are looking for your dream home in Palm Jumeirah, Emirates Hills or Dubai Hills Estate, we should talk. Head to our website for a free consultation. Let's find your perfect Dubai home together. Now back to our conversation. Welcome back to another DubaiView real estate podcast. Today or this week, I'm joined by one of the fastest rising real estate advisors in the Dubai real estate market and is very well known as a YouTube professional. I see many content of you and you're as well the CEO of GB Investment. Is it right?
Mario, thank you for the intro, first of all. No one's ever introduced me like that.
Most welcome.
You know, usually I interview people and I always wonder, like, how would someone introduce me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
You're more than welcome. No, how I said before we get online, I was, I guess, one of the first realtors who was starting following you, who I see that you are getting active on social media, and I got really inspired. I could say as well that you was one of the motivation who I got to get as well into social media.
Wow.
But let's start first with the first question. What is interesting me, you started a couple of years ago to move to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, so now you are very well known on YouTube as well on social media. What gave you the motivation to create your brand in Dubai?
Good question. So, listen, when I first came to Dubai, I started out by, as I was just saying, I was a film producer. So I was filming agents in Dubai. And I was also filming, you know, sort of celebrities as well, football players, all these kinds of people. So I was always the guy behind the camera. Now, the thing is about me, I'm quite a confident person. So I was like, I can definitely be on the other side of that camera. So then when I was filming these guys in the real estate space, I started to see the kind of potential, what was in the market, especially after COVID 2021, 2022, you know, the market was just going insane. I thought I need to get a piece of this. So that was when I decided one day, right, let's give this a go. Let's use the knowledge that I've built up and accumulated. I joined a real estate company and I thought this whole cold calling thing was just not my game. Picking up the phone, trying to convince someone on the other side of the line to work with me. And, you know, I was a new agent. So I was like, hi, would you like to list your property? And I was thinking, if this guy on the other side of the phone was listening to this, he's going to think, who's this amateur trying to list my property? You know, I didn't even know the names of all the buildings, right? So I said, there's got to be another way. So I started picking up the camera, you know, film producing background so I could shoot good content. And I thought, I can see these guys who are doing well out here. And I started doing 1 video a week, 2 videos a week. And what I noticed was that, you know, the content really started to work. So at first the motivation came behind, I didn't want to cold call. And then the second wave of motivation came from, well, it actually works. So when I combined those two, I was like, okay, we really need to go all in with this. And then that's when I kind of flicked the switch and went all in.
Amazing. I can remember the cold calls who I saw, it was insane. So for me as well, it was a huge time waste because everyone have the databases. Even the funny part now, I guess 3 or 4 days ago, they are so advanced now. I got the message from one guy. He said, hey, Mario, we are working, I don't want to say because he used a governmental name. We are working with them together and we created a software. That means if you use that software, you see each building, even the listed agent on Bayut and Property Finder. Look how insane it is. You click on Bayut and Property Finder, it will show up the unit number. So you don't even have to check more the units number. You get the unit number with the database. You can pass the agent, can go direct to the landlord.
You know what?
At that stage, we arrived.
Someone just told me that the other day. Yeah. Someone said this software now exists.
Yeah.
So there's literally no privacy anywhere in Dubai.
No, that's it. That's done. Before we put our phone numbers inside that the investors didn't get the calls from us. But now they can pass anyway. They go to the investors. So that's why it's important now to have such good relationship with the investors that they will inform you anytime. Otherwise, people will pass, you know.
This is one thing I'm really, you know, as advanced as Dubai is, data protection is really low. You know, we sold some off plan last year to a client of mine and now the properties are ready. And it's funny you say this because I listed it online about 2 days ago and we got some good offers. Someone's called my owner in Zimbabwe and said, I've just seen that you've listed your property online. Do you think we can do some sort of deal where, I'll take the listing instead? And he's like, Joe, who's this? I'm like, I have no idea, man, but this is just how it is. Most people from other parts of the world aren't used to this,
Yeah, that's crazy. This is, let's see what we can do in that sector that Dubai can improve and many other things we are improving currently. Coming back to you, who you moved to Dubai, what was your first impression? Did you thought, wow, that's the place to be? Or you was getting first overwhelmed and said, wow, from London moving to Dubai, I don't know if it's really my style and my lifestyle?
All right, so I moved from UK to Marbella first. Marbella is on the south coast of Spain.
Amazing.
Then I moved from there to Dubai. My first impressions, at the end of the day, there was a reason I moved to Dubai. It was to grow a business. My business started to stagnate in Marbella, so I only went there with the vision of growth. If I compare the two cities, I'd probably prefer to live in Spain and retire there. But if I was going to look at Dubai, I would say that anyone should always have a base here. They should operate business here because there's a lot of money to make at the end of the day. My first impressions, I think I said this to a few people. I got over the overwhelmment of money when I went to Marbella. When I first moved to Marbella, I was, saw the cars, saw the watches, saw the designer clothes, saw the designer shops, saw the money. And I was like, oh, I don't fit in. And I realized a lot of that was just a load of shit. A lot of people were faking it. So by the time I'd moved to Dubai, I was kind of over that. Saw a nice car. I was like, nah, I've seen that before, seen the nice watches. I don't believe everybody's wealth is true. So I was quite prepared for it. But yeah, I mean, the first impressions were quite
amazing. Marbella is one of my favorite places. My business partner is living in Marbella. So just a couple of weeks ago, I was watching, I said, come, let's buy another property or let's buy the first property in Marbella. But the prices are insane. They are insane.
My friend is about to buy one now and he was asking me like what I thought of it. But I have no idea about the off-plan market in Marbella, I don't know how you protect it or anything. I think it was a 2-bed. It was on the Golden Mile near Puente Romano and it was like 700,000-800,000 euros. And he was like, is this good? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know the market price. I don't study the market. I don't even know how you protect it.
Well, the only bad thing is about Spain and Italy, what is keeping me a little bit away. So originally I'm from Italy, is that they have the bad rule so you need normally a close community or someone with security, because if some gypsy guy or someone else is entering that apartment and you don't kick him out in the next 24 hours, you don't get him out of the apartment. That's insane. That's such a
the squatter rights.
That's crazy. So
unbelievable.
Imagine to have that. So I really don't know, but Marbella, it's such a beautiful place, and I guess you need another place to stay over the summer. If you stay a couple of years in Dubai and staying every year, each year in the summer times here, you're getting exhausted. You're getting exhausted.
Truly exhausted. That's why you're in this like super smart suit. I said that before the camera.
Yeah.
I'm an agent. I can't wear a suit anymore because I'm going to be too uncomfortable to talk.
Yeah. I believe you. I was there. I thought, okay, will Joe come with a suit? Come, let's try it out. I will come with my suit. Normally, my agent see it as well. If my agent see me with a suit, they tell me, okay, you have a meeting. Otherwise, they see me in shorts, t-shirts.
Yeah, me too, man. But you look great, so it's good.
Thank you so much. Quick break to share some exciting news from DubaiView. Our boutique approach means we get exclusive first access to some of the Dubai's most remarkable properties. Just this month, we've added stunning new listings that aren't available anywhere else. Want to be first to know about these hidden gems? Visit our website for private consultation. Now, back to our conversation. So, because you're as well very, very experienced, what I got in the last years of a feeling of other people, they thought the success in Dubai is coming overnight. So what would interesting me for you, how was your first year becoming a real estate agent? And maybe you can show them as well the shadow sides and telling the listeners that you will not succeed overnight and you will not become a millionaire in 1 week or in 2 weeks.
Oh, it's so true. My first year was really not that great. I was fortunate enough to work with a great company, Provident Real Estate, and I'll always shout them out because they really did help me out when I started, and they allowed me to do my film and production business on the side so I could actually generate some money, because without that I would have really suffered. Now, I do believe you need to go all into the real estate, but you also need to be practical. Dubai does cost you a lot of money. You will need to be paying for things. And if you sell off plan, for example, you don't get paid the same day. It might take 3-6 months, to be honest. My first year it was really about trying to find what I'm good at, how I'm going to, build my own business, how I'm going to build my brand. And, building a YouTube channel does not take a week, a month. You can do it a lot quicker through short form content, but YouTube, it's a long form platform where it takes time. It takes, consistency.
What do you think? How long time it will take till you get a good subscriber base?
All right. Now that I've learned a lot about YouTube, work with some real good experts, you can probably do it in 6 months. If you are creating the right videos, you're creating the right hooks, you're creating the right thumbnails, the editing style is the right way, and you know exactly the demographic you're trying to target, But if you're just guessing and you're making low quality content, and also low quality volume content is a lot worse than creating one high quality video a week. People think on YouTube, if I just create 5 low quality vlogs with my phone, like in bad lighting, I can fast track it because I'm making a lot of content. That's not true. I create one high quality video every week, and I realize that's enough. That's enough because the quality of your videos just drops if you're doing too much, So yeah, that first year in real estate, I suffered a little bit, man. I didn't make much money at all. It was my second and third year where I really started to flourish. Some people get it from the first week. Some people get it from the first month, but the top 0.01% get it. And some people, it's an element of skill.
But I guess it's more luck. It's more luck.
Yeah.
It was a funny part, and I never had it in all my years. And I was calling 100,000 of leads.
Can I guess? Is it you got that one client that wanted to invest loads?
Yes.
Like you didn't get that?
Yes.
Neither did I.
Yes.
Well, carry on.
And
some people get it, right?
Yes. And a lead came in, and I shared it to one of my agents, and he started very fresh, I guess 3 months, but I know him from Germany. I know that he's a sales guy. So before he was selling different type of stuff. So I said, okay, if you sell, I will show you Dubai. I will put effort for you. He's a family father of three or 4 kids. I said, I will support you. Normally I don't take new agents, but we will do it. And after 3 months, I shared him the first lead. And he's calling him, and then he called me back. He said, Mario, I closed the deal off blood for 30 million dirhams.
No way.
Yes. And
wow.
I said, what?
Congratulations to that guy.
Yeah. And he was super happy. And I say, you are lucky guy. I say, it's good. So of course, it's as well a part of you, how you was talking with the client, but you are not getting daily a lead who's saying, hey, I am buying without moving to Dubai, without seeing projects, just online 30 million dirhams. So that's why there are this ways and this ways. And I remember my first year. So that's why I think it's important that the listeners understand that you cannot just move to Dubai, coming here, becoming an agent and making millions, even especially nowadays in the market. So this would be my question. Where do you see the market going? Because currently I'm saying with the past 3-4 years, everyone could make money. Each agent could sell some stupid building, and the investor was lucky and he got his 20-30%. I don't see it anymore. I don't see more the areas who I can believe to 100%, putting the luxury segment on site. If we just talk about the low till middle budget, $200,000 to $500,000. And as well, I see the developer rules changing, how you say it, the commission side for us as a CEO, not easy. They don't listen more so you have a contract that's written after 24%, you're getting the first 2.5%. Then after the SPA signed the other 2.5 or 60 days, they have time. After the 60 days, they have to pay you. I guess I can put now 5-6 developers and names.
Yeah.
We are on 120 days and I still didn't got my money.
I can agree there. I think, first of all, touching on that topic, what you just said, we sold something recently in one of the projects. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to name the project or not. But anyway, by a great developer, Woodland project. Maybe you know which one I'm on about. And so you pay, the client pays the first 10% and then they pay it in split commissions, right? But then the next 10% payment, they're asking for it at the end of August. And then only after that, you get your final commission. So I'm thinking, oh my God, it's like we're in May, August, June, July, August, and then they've got to do the SPA, and then it's going to be like 5-6 months. My client actually paid the 24% up front because he wanted it. So that'll fast track for me. But most people that pay 10% now, 10% at the end of August, the brokers are going to be waiting ages. It is what it is, man. But in regards to your question, I mean, listen, the last 5 years, the last 4 to 5 years are not going to be like the next 4 to 5 years. No way. I mean, we've seen an insane amount of growth in this market. And I tell all of my clients this. You know, someone came to me the other day and said, I've got a 1.5 million dirham budget. I'm looking to make 20 to 25% year-on-year appreciation. I'm like, I don't know what planet you're dreaming on, because that is not going to happen. I was like, maybe if you're going for a really unique product in that ultra luxury segment of the market, maybe we can do that. But now that kind of product is not going to happen. So I categorize different investment brackets for different people. So we look at what kind of budget are we working with for you to understand whether it's going to be better for cash flow or appreciation. In most cases, anything sort of sub 2 to 2.5 to 3 million now is just, I say, a great cash flow asset. But you just need to be buying into areas, or at least buying from developers where, you know, there is a demand for that developer. So JVC, for example, we know it's a crowded location. I used to live there, but I used to live in Zaya Hamini. That building was occupied all the time. As soon as something became available, it rented or it sold. But then there are other buildings with completely vacant units in, and they will be for a long time because the building developer just isn't of that standard. It's like the Ellington buildings in JVC. They'll always do well. I mean, I'm sure you know, Germans love the Ellington, don't they?
Yes, but I sold recently Ellington department because normally should get handed over this year. And now for 2 weeks came the notification that they have a delay of other 18 months.
Really?
So I was lucky to sell it off. But you're right. In JVC, there was just 3 developers who I was looking. It was Iman developers. I liked them in the past a lot. Now currently the locations, it's hard for me to sell it. Then Ellington, what I liked, and Imtiaz was as well in JVC. So these 3 developers I was working with in the past. But still now JVC, I'm not more sure. If I think 220, I bought my first studio apartment for 420,000 dirhams. Now the new launches are 750. So in the studio apartment segment, I don't see any success more in JVC. 1-bedroom apartments for 1 million, 1.1 million. I'm saying, okay, still fair enough. If you rent it out for 90K with a good developer, there you see the difference. Check the rentals from Iman developers and check the rentals from other developers. Sometimes there's a gap of 20 to 30K.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the moral of the story now is basically you just need to be, there's definitely not as much return that you used to be able to make on lower tier products. And you need to be more selective than ever right now when you're putting your money into a project. Like, you need to be so careful that you're not overpaying. You know, it's like when I see some projects launching in Science Park, the 1-beds are like 1.7 million. And I'm like, but it's got a 2-year post handover. I'm like, yeah, but you're paying 1.7 million for a 1-bed. How much? This is like 5 minutes from Arjan, which a 1-bed rents out for 90K at best. You're paying 1.7 and you're getting 90K or less. That's not a good yield, you know? I'm like, so you just need to be a bit smart. Don't be sold on the overhype or like this.
This is the problem. What you can recommend to investors? I see it many times, and there is as well where I see that I lose not many leads, but a lot of leads because I'm too honest. I don't want to sell shit products. And I tell them, look, with this developer, I'm not working with this developer, I'm not working with. Yeah, but this developer have a 1% payment plan the next 8 years. I say, yeah, but it should have a reason why this developer have a 1% payment plan the last 8 years. I said, if I tell you that one day a client of me bought 3 floors in MR in Creek Harbor in the past 2018, he asked for a discount. MR said, we will not even give you 1%. And you know why MR is getting 1-2 bedrooms sold out in 24 days with a not very good payment plan than all the other developers and without giving discounts. It have a reason. So why this developer should give 8 years 1%? And there I see many investors, they want to have something in Dubai, but still they cannot afford the good things. And then they're moving with this. Yeah.
But by any chance, does it have a pool on the balcony in the studio? That classic, right? I mean, listen, when you've just said it right, Dubai developers opened up a specific part of the market to cater towards the everyday investor that can afford most products. That's why we see a majority of the market share of investors between sort of 750k to like 1.2 million dirhams. That's a majority of the market share. And I still believe you can get some great products, as I say, for cash flow opportunities. But then there are some lower tier developers that are just launching week after week after week, almost identical products. You know, you're getting oversold on, you know, I mean, the price per square foot is generally like 20, 30, 40% higher than it should be because you may be sold on pool on the balcony or, you know, 8-year payment plans. Like these things that people are so incentivized by. But then when it comes to actually, you know, reselling the property in the future or renting it out, people are left like, well, this is not what I signed up for. Yeah, I was expecting to triple my money. That developer told me I can sell after 30%. And probably can't even sell it, you know?
Yeah, I had 2 days ago a call or a Zoom call. It was through a referral. And she said, yes, I hear from a developer. He told me if I'm not coming with an agent. So this developer sales manager told an investor that there is, before the pre-launch, there's like a private launch of the developer for the direct clients who they can give 10% discount. So there she can buy most cheap. Then it's coming the pre-launch, who she can come with me, and then the launch, and this is how the price increasing. She said, hey Mario, is it right? Because I want to work with you, but I don't want to miss this 10%. I said, dear, go to this developer and tell him, okay, I come alone and give me this 10%. I said, before the pre-launch, you even don't get the layouts. I said, because the marketing team or the CRM team even didn't hand it out. This is just bullshit talking from sales managers to get more commission. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the market's more competitive with more people coming over than ever. There are always going to be snakes in the market. Developers are trying to undercut people and brokers. And you know what? I don't think, I think at some point it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a big clear out. We're going to see a big washout of, you know, the developers that weren't delivering what they promised. We're going to see a washout of brokers that were, you know, selling bad products. And eventually we're going to hopefully have a more mature market, which in turn leads to stronger brokers, people who actually care about, you know, the capital that people invest in. And then ultimately, you know, it becomes, like I said, a more mature market, where a respectful market. Like the Dubai market, in my opinion, right now, it doesn't feel very respectful. Like if you say you're an agent, it's like, you know, it's a bit like, it's like the kind of like scum of the earth, you know? That's the way that brokers are being represented in a certain respect, because there's just so many bad stories of people selling this bad stuff, you know?
If someone is asking me, I'm selling every time I'm an entrepreneur. I don't tell them more than
I just say I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, because there are too many. There are too many on the market, unfortunately, and too many. And we said it in many podcasts as well before, who the agents are working in their pocket and not in the pocket of the investor. But there as well, I'm hoping, and we was having discussions to get a stricter regulation in Dubai that not anyone can become a broker. If you want to become a realtor in Germany, you need to have a paragraph. And you have to study and you have to go to school. Someone is making a bachelor in real estate. One of my agents now, she's half Albanian, half German. Or no, she's full Albanian, but she grew up in Germany. She's now currently in Germany for 4 weeks. She's doing the bachelor for real estate. And then you can come here getting online the course. You just make
60
pictures.
questions.
ChatGPT is answering it for you. You go out with it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But what to do? But coming back to the question, where do you see the real estate market in the next 5 years? Because to be honest, my side, I'm trying to find new strategies.
Yeah.
So my first strategy, how I said, the platform. I will go afterwards if we are done with the podcast more in details. What there's my goal behind. Currently, my business partner in Germany, we start. I don't even know how it's called in English. In Germany, I have the name, so you can give like stock shares. You can go into papers, what is stock shares, who you can be responsible for your private equities. So because a lot of German and European investors, they are scared, for example, if you make a crowdfunding in Dubai and something is not working very well, to go to the judge in Dubai. So in Germany, you have the possibility to be responsible with your own. For example, I say, okay, I will do a crowdfunding of 30 million, but I protect your money with my private equity or with my assets in Germany who have the value of 30 million. So then they are safe, they're secure. You can promise them an 8% return of investment per year back, what for German people are amazing.
Yeah.
And you can fund money. You can bring it through a holding structure to Dubai, and you can start buying bulk deals or flipping.
I love that model. Yeah. I mean, we explored that model, like the SPV, special purpose vehicle, raising capital and all that, but there was just a lot of red tape around here, and it's not very clear for my European investors, like how they're protected, you know. But where I see the market going, I mean, we're going to have a market shakeout, you know. I don't think there's going to be a total market crash. Why would there be, you know? I mean, more and more people are said to move here, so there is a huge demand for property still. I think people's expectations, what they've been sold on, are not going to be totally met. I still believe there's going to be a great market for cash flow because the tourism's still going to grow. You know, people are still going to relocate here. More and more businesses are coming here. So I don't necessarily see, you know, something drastically happening. But if you are buying on that sort of lower tier part of the market, then yeah, just know that you're holding a cash flow asset. Don't be expecting to see the returns you used to be seeing. And there'll naturally be a bit of a slowdown, you know. I think eventually we're going to start seeing in places, maybe like JVC, maybe other built-up locations, things not renting as fast. Obviously, if things don't rent as fast, then prices have to come down. If rents go down, prices go down, and so forth. I still think, you know, this sort of top 1% of the market, the ultra-luxury segment, I think that's going to continue to grow. I still think the ceiling has not been met. If we look at areas like Al Barari, Jumeirah Golf Estates, Palm Jumeirah, all the prime locations, Dubai Hills, transactions are still getting smashed. It's only recently in the last sort of 12 to 18 months that we're actually seeing renovations that are of that high standard that people expect, especially if they're paying like 100 mil, 80, 100, even like from Jumeirah Golf Estates paying 40, 50 mil. So I think the ultra luxury market still got a way to go. I think townhouse market, I mean, there does need to be at some point affordable housing in Dubai. So like with the likes of Damac Lagoons handing over, eventually Damac Islands, you've got Sun City, but all those Damac projects, when they all hand over, eventually there will be a lot of townhouses on the market. And I think the prices have to kind of flatline at some point because, man, families who want to live in townhouses need to be able to afford them. Not everybody in Dubai makes 200,000 euros a year, you know?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Villas and townhouses, I think there is less demand. As well by me, we are living in Creek Harbor. Currently, we are watching for a villa to move by ourselves, but my daughter's going near Natal Sheba or in Natal Sheba to school. And then if you're checking the areas, how you say it, Al Barari would be the next. But if I want to rent an apartment in the Nest per year,
it's crazy, right? It's insane.
You cannot afford it. And if you want to purchase it, I did not that much deals to purchase it. So there is no many things. There's more the millionaires section, let's say, who can afford a villa for 40, 50 million. Otherwise,
I think the ultra luxury segment of the market still has a way to go. I think it's going to be very interesting when we start to see, you know, a lot of these new developments handing over, like, let's say, Burj Bengati. You've got, you've got so many developments around the canal. You've got Business Bay. You've got the Marbella Vale. You've got all of these insanely futuristic developments. And it's going to be exciting to see what happens when these hand over. Because it's going to say, who's this going to cater to, you know? Because then we've got like the ultra luxury buildings, like more luxury than we've ever seen. Then we've got, you know, the prime villa communities where we're seeing ultra luxury villas. But then we've also got that sort of mid-tier market, Miras, Oasis, Acres by Miras. You've got Oasis, you've got the Wilds, you've got Haven by Eldar. That's kind of like the mid-market. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I don't know how much growth we're going to see in those locations. I still think some growth, but I don't think people are going to triple the money, you know?
No, that not. I guess I am focusing currently just really on Dubai Island. I was before Maritime City Dubai because I was studying the plot. I can tell you as well the plot names from AB31.
Nice.
I was there, so there are just 5 plots from all the island A, B, C, and D from developers what get built who I see a huge capital appreciation if you have them, because I'm more scared in the fourth, investing in third, fourth, fifth. I say every time to my clients, if you're looking just for good return of investment, go to 6, 7 row if you don't want to reselling it the next 10, 15 years, because you're entering cheaper the market. The rental, it's still fine, even the people who want to live there, because it's the first place. If you think, even by myself, I would love to live on the beach, but I could not live in Palm Jumeirah. If the school of my daughter's there, my business is in downtown, I need 2 hours. But if I'm in Dubai Island, there are so many people who's living in DIFC or working DIFC downtown. They could be in 10, 15 minutes in downtown. So for long-term rental, short-term rental, it will be an amazing place. So that's why I say everything what is more back, it's more for a higher return of investment. Everything what is in the first line, even the second line after the G+2+8, who you're watching over the buildings, full sea view, I'm pretty sure you can make good returns. I remember Blue Waters, who started the launch of Blue Waters. A client of mine, French client, bought a 3-bedroom apartment there in building 3 for 4 million dirhams. We sold it 2 months ago for 11.9 million dirhams. So there are many waterfront properties where I saw how much the price was increasing, and it's in the end of the day, it's the last Jumeirah coastline. You just have Dubai Island, you have Maritime City, who I was loving to sell beyond as well. Now I'm a little bit scared with the new launch of Damak, what is coming. I'm scared that they're crashing everything because it's huge units.
Yeah, Chelsea residences.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't get that collaboration. I think that's more for clout from the max end that they want to be associated with Chelsea, who are a big club. I support Liverpool. I'm not going to buy there. You know what I mean? I'll tell you now, you just put anyone who's from Liverpool, who's a true-born Scouser that supports Liverpool, would not buy into Chelsea residences. I'm not saying that's a majority of the market, but you've probably put some people off. But yeah, no, Dubai Islands, obviously, I was there, and going over Island A, right now it's a bit annoying with the flights. Eventually you can kind of like forget about it with the flights going over, but you know, in the next 5 years with the sort of shift to the Dubai South region of the Al Maktoum Airport, I think it's going to be a great location, as you just said. Once the bridges are connecting, you know, to the main highways, you can get in and out of there in 20 minutes or something. So as long as they build as long as they build the exits right, so that doesn't clog up with traffic, like everyone getting out from the Dubai Islands at the same time, man, you're going to be on the beach every day. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to see as well how the market shifts. That's why I'm asking you, because now there are another developer currently who's making a huge launch between Abu Dhabi and Dubai.
The Aura in Ghantoot. Yeah, exactly. I studied a bit of this development.
What do you think about it?
Okay, so first of all, the infrastructure surrounding that entire region is non-existent. You know, first of all, we need to see these sort of we need to see Jebel Ali come up first. You know, Palm Jebel Ali, that will be an incredible development. But even still, anything surrounding the Palm Jebel Ali area right now is completely industrial. You know, I mean, I go to Palm Jebel Ali Beach sometimes just to chill there, and it's completely and utterly deserted. So there is so much infrastructure that needs to happen over there. Yeah, fair enough, they're going to be building these nice like locations, but the drive in, around, everything, it's, you know, maybe 10, 12 years. Like, that's the kind of vision you have to have with it. And for someone who's a long-term holder, I think Palm Jebel Ali is a great location. That Ghantoot one, I've never been there. I have no idea, really. All is what I know I heard was the developer launched 500 units, and then they accepted 800 EOIs, typical developer tactics.
This is
just to cut the brokers out, probably.
Yes.
Which is just annoying because everyone has to wait ages to get their money back as well. You know? I don't know, man.
Every time I was there, I was watching it, I said to the sales manager, I said, why, as a new developer, are you starting to collect EOIs? I said, if you have in the first phase 500 units, and the second phase, first phase was 700 units, I guess. First phase 700, second phase 500. So in total, it's 1,300 units. I said, why are you collecting 800 EOIs? I said, how is that possible? Yeah, but if cancellations are coming. I said, you want to tell me that 300 cancellations are coming?
Yeah. It's shitty tactics, man. It's like a lot of these developers, we see people, some of the bigger developers, just like trying to cut brokers out, and then they go direct to the clients, and then then they try to convince the clients, no, keep your EOI for the next launch, but then the prices is 20-30% more. Then that client loses trust with their broker. In the end, what it does, it makes the broker look bad. So if you're a genuine broker, you go to this developer, you put an EOI down, you convince your client to put down 100, 200, 300k dirhams. Then they've got to wait for the launch. Then they'd be told that they can't actually get anything. Then they say, all right, your money's going to take probably 3 months to get back. Okay. And then also, if you do want something in the next launch, it's 20 or 30% more. Your client comes to you as a broker and says, well, I trusted you to get me that. And then you just end up becoming not credible. They think it's your fault. Oh, well, I could have gone direct to them. And then again, it just...
Yeah, I had that case.
Yeah.
I had that case 3 months, I guess, was one of the first EOIs giving. 3 months waiting. The allocation, I can remember, was a Wednesday at 12 p.m. And I was there at 11:30. I just wanted to check, okay, how's the availability status? What will be the best view? And I see the sales manager, because, I'm very strict. She came and she was white in her face, totally white. I said, what's going on? She said, all the 1-bedrooms are sold. I said, how? I said, 3 months, you say we are one of the first with the expression of interest. And then we have the allocation at 12. I'm here at 11:30. The clients are on the way. I said, why are you not canceling the appointment before? I said, why are you letting us coming here to tell me 30 minutes before that all the 1-bedrooms are sold out? Yes, there was so many expression of interest from the last launch who the investors didn't get a unit. They got preferred. And then came the 100% cash buyers, then the 50% cash buyers. I said, come on. So, and now there's still investors who are loving the developer. They are doing a great job. But everyone who's putting expression of interest inside, I will go tomorrow again there for allocation. I said, put 50% in advance. So put the expression of interest. They will make a note that you have 50% advance payment. If you want that project, you will not get it just with a 50 or 80,000 dirham EOI. I never got from this developer with just an expression of interest a unit.
When is the property ready?
So the property is ready Q4 2027.
Okay, so yeah,
the total purchase price is 1,050,000 dirhams.
Yeah, so someone's got to basically tie up that cash and just forget about it for 2 years.
Yes.
It's not good.
Yes, it's not good.
Like it's from the money working for your point of view, your perspective is like the whole point of buying off plan is to buy it on a payment plan and leverage your money in different ways and be able to utilize it and then pay it off accordingly. Not
100%.
Not pay the whole thing off in cash and wait for 4 years. What's the point?
100%. I'm saying it as well. But sometimes you have these investors, they just want it, I can just navigate the people. But if someone is telling you 3 times, hey, I want to purchase a townhouse by Damak because it's the cheapest in the market for 2.5 million dirham, I just can tell him, look, this and this and this you can expect. Or if you're purchasing for 2.5 million a townhouse by Damak, you can afford this and this and this. But if they just want it, then it's their issue. So in the end of the day, if they're not happy or the developer have delay or something is like this, it was their decision. You just can navigate them through your knowledge.
Yeah.
But the German investors telling me, Mario, by me the money is on the bank, so I don't get any interest. It's not like by us Vio you can put it 1 month and they're giving you 4.85%.
Yeah.
In Germany, it's not such things existing. So he said the money is still on the account, so I will put it there. I want exactly that unit with that developer. Okay, then let's do it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah. But coming back to you talking about the investors, now you have a huge credibility on YouTube. How is it for you if an investor or a lead is contacting you? Is it hard still to convince the investor or navigate him, or already because he's seeing you daily on YouTube, on social media? I see by myself, if you see someone every time on YouTube or on social media, already you're getting and gaining trust with it. How is your experience there?
So, all right, I have a bunch of different types of inquiries that come through my YouTube. Generally, if they're on the lower budget, they're still just as hard to close. And to be honest, I give them to my team because they have, my team that work for me, they're a great group of guys from the UK, and they're super well equipped on the market at different price points, especially for, between 1 and 2 million dirhams. Because for me, whilst I'm trying to deliver a great service, I can't do it with 10, 20 clients, which I produce each week, right? So I can't look after 10 or 20 leads a week. So I have to basically work with the clientele that I know will be best suited to work with me. And these guys, usually with the higher budgets, are more confident. They've seen me, they know that I can advise people on where to put their money. And generally, in terms of conversion, it's relatively, I'm not going to say easy, because I don't think any sale is easy, but it's relatively easier because they've seen me before. Yeah. Now, when I've worked with clients, with 1 million, 1.5 million dirhams, I'm maybe the third or fourth point of contact they've had. They've seen other guys on YouTube. They've seen some ads. They've inquired about this. They've got loads of agents always messaging, always following them up. Those ones are the hard ones to work with, because, and I appreciate, if you've got 1 million dirham budget, you probably saved all your life to get this money in the bank to do this. If you've got $10 million, you're investing it because, you've made money, you took risks along the way. So investing in Dubai is probably not that much of a risk to you. For someone, the general
this
public,
is the funny part. The small budget clients are much more harder to close
for sure they are,
than the high ticket clients.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm not going to say it in a disrespectful way, but I don't have the patience. If someone doesn't want to take on my advice and listen to me, and even if I advise them and give them a report and they still, question what I'm saying, then I'm just saying, I just say, listen, respectfully, I don't think we're a good match to work together.
Yeah. But this is because you're for a long time in the market. This was building me as well. If I remember myself starting into it, you was fighting for each client, trying to sell it, to convince it. And after you're understanding the Dubai market, and as well the disloyalty from some investors, you're getting used to it, and you just know, okay, this is a type of waste of time, and this is a client who's straightforward with me, and I can build a long-term relationship with him. Yeah,
and you know what? Like, I'll give you a quick example of a great client of mine. I've got a few of these. Just the other day, my clients, we bought 2 properties last year in an upcoming location, and they're ready now. They're 2 bedrooms, and they asked me, should I furnish them? And I was like, I think we should furnish them because, the buildings have just handed over. There's a lot of units that are coming onto the market. So we're going to be able to stand out, and we'll be able to rent it out quicker, essentially. So I furnished both of them. I organized the furnishing team. We come in, we pick the style, we pick the design. They literally give me the cash and just said, Joe, we're going back home. Can you sort it out for us? Of course I can. So I organized it all from start to finish, listed it online, already got one offer for one of the rentals and another offer for another rental. Okay. So from acquiring the property from the off plan all the way through, I help them get the golden visas, get the bank set up, come to the completion, help them get it furnished, getting it cleaned, get the DWAR set up, done everything for them. And what do those clients do now? They're not going to go to anyone else. They come back to me for everything, and they're a very successful family from Zimbabwe. So they just keep coming back. They keep coming back. They want to buy this.
But how is your experience about, I did the same, and sometimes I do still the same, but my experience, what I got is, even for the high ticket clients, maybe I took the wrong high ticket clients, that they don't take you serious anymore. Sometimes I got the feeling like you are the boy for everything. I got sometimes then questions, hey, can you come and can you register the diva? I don't know how the diva is working. I don't know with the security to fixing this. And can you fix my bank account? So I become like not more an agent. I become a
assistant
for them. And sometimes if I see agents are taking money for that, they would say, okay, that's a part of after sale. Because looking really honest on it, our part as a real estate agent is to consult our client to invest in the right property, that he make a good capital appreciation, a right return of investment. For that we get paid. All the service afterwards, it's official, and I see that's right, it's extra service. What is not included in your position to do it. Of course, some people are taking money for that, then okay, they can do it. But I did it every time, the things for free. Till I said, hey, but the people, they are not appreciating shut things, because afterwards you become the boy for everything.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you're doing it with much more people, it's very hard to go out of that circle. It's very hard to go out of the circle. If you're checking, we are just getting paid if the buyer is buying with us. But if I go now to a lawyer and say, hey, lawyer, I have a problem, AML, anti-money laundering, I don't know, I got some requests, so I put a video online without the marketing QR code. Now the Dubai Land Department want 90,000 dirhams from me. As an example, he say, wait, I will not give you an answer. 1 hour costs 3,500 dirham. Afterwards, I can tell you which ways we have. I will tell you the price and we do it. If I go to the Mediclinic to just talk with a doctor, they're charging me 650 dirhams. And us, we are running from left to right,
true, man.
back and forth, and just getting paid if we are getting the commission.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I guess I've not had that experience because I haven't done it with that many people. This one particular client does compensate me for the work that I put in, and they are continuing to grow and build their portfolio. So, and it's not me, the one that's actually setting up the bank. I have all the right contacts for that. I'm just kind of piecing it together. But I can definitely see where they would treat you like the boy and the assistant. Like I said, it's not happened to me, but I think I could very easily fall into that if you're not careful. Yeah. I can imagine, oh, come and set the deal, or oh, can you just register the job? I'm just a bit busy. Can you do this? Oh, and then all of a sudden, you're bringing them coffee in the morning, and flowers for the wife on Valentine's Day, So you need to be careful with that, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming to the last question.
Yeah.
What would you recommend new agents entering to the market to become successful? There are good agents, and we have leaders here in the market. Even if you're checking how many agents we have and how much sales transaction are, you see there's just 1% of the realtors who really are doing such huge sales.
Oh, coming into this market now, I'll be brutally honest, it is a hard time to come into it unless you're willing to really lay down like some real strong values from the start. If you're coming in to just be, let's say you're going into a traditional real estate company, your big companies, Allsop and Allsop, White & Co., the great companies like that. But if you're coming in and just getting a phone book and calling these sellers in this location with no real strong sales pitch, you are going to really be like struggling. Now, you need to think of it, you need to be a bit creative in this market. All right. There are things that you can do. You can take data lists of, let's say, developments that have just started construction, like the Acres by Miras or some of the developments on Dubai Islands. You can get that data, all right? Give those people a call. Say, I've saw that you've bought in this development. Would you be interested in maybe exploring other options? You can't just, I don't believe the traditional way of just calling up sellers in certain locations now and doing the traditional cold call is going to be very easy. And even when it comes to personal branding, that's going to take a bit of time. You just need to be patient. I still believe if you are focused and committed enough, there is still enough money in the industry, but you just need to be patient. You need to be disciplined. Don't get sidetracked. Don't focus on absolutely everything in the market. Don't focus on one beds in JVC, then try and sell villas on the Palm Jebel Ali, and then also try and sell apartments in Palm Jumeirah, because you're just going to lose your brain capacity. It's going to be too overwhelming. And then, of course, consistency. Just show up every day and make sure you've got enough money in the bank to survive for 6 months. You should be okay.
Joe, thank you so much for having you here. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Mario.
And I guess the listener will get a lot of insights from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.